I'm gonna read a book. Quinlan Voss comic book. Oh yes. Oh, interesting. Oh, dang. Check out this chick, she got big breasts. Look at that. What's up, everybody? This is Nut Alliance. Today I have another Q&A for you guys, Q&A number 10. What we're gonna be doing is going over all the questions you guys asked me from last video. So if you have any more questions for me, please make sure to leave them in the comments below. Also, make sure to hit that like button and the subscribe button and that little notification button so you can get all my videos quick. Now for this Q&A, I have a bunch of questions I wanna go over. Usually I have a few questions and I take longer to answer them. I have a bunch more, so I'm gonna kind of scan over them a little bit quicker. So there's gonna be more questions, of course. More questions will be answered, but I'm not gonna have as long as explanations to why I answer them the way I do, but I will still give them, I'll try to justify them, let's say that. All right, our first question is from Darth Venom. He asks, can you rank the Zack Snyder films? Now I've already done that. I'll put a link right here, right there. It should be showing up. Go ahead and click that if you wanna check that out. And it'll also be a link to all my ranked playlist, so you can look at all my ranks. Real quick before I continue, if you guys have any theories, any other type of video suggestions like ranks versus vlogs, whatever, that type of stuff, let me know in the comments below. But I might already done some of this stuff. So I have a whole playlist. Go to my playlist tab, look through all the different playlists and watch those other theories, watch those ranks. And if I did miss something, then you can let me know in the comments below. But I would recommend that if I actually have done it like this question, like with Darth Venom, I already did this specific video. So if you actually were to check that, you can see all that stuff in my one ranked playlist. So I recommend going checking that out. So there you go. Next one we have from Darth Levy. He asks, so far, what is your favorite Star Wars Rebels episode and why? To that, I have to say my favorite Star Wars episode is probably the final episode of season 2, because that's the one where Darth Vader and Ahsoka fight, and Darth Maul fights there, and I think Kanan gets blinded there too. The only episode I actually saw of Rebels so far. I haven't watched it yet. I'm gonna wait till season 3 is completed, and then I'm just gonna watch 1, 2, and 3 in succession, and then I'll be able to, I might consider doing a review on that, so if you wanna see a review on that, let me know in the comments below. I might consider doing that. Next we have the Nexu, and he asks, have you ever watched the Ewok films, and if so, what do you think of them? I have not watched the Ewoks films. I know of them, and I hear that they are absolute cancer. So because of that reason, I'm not watching them. Next one from Darth Maitland, he says, is Star Wars your favorite franchise of all time? I would probably say yeah. You know, I grew up with Star Wars. There's a bunch of different franchises I absolutely love. Lord of the Rings is one of the ones I especially love. I grew up with that bad boy. Halo's a franchise I absolutely love. Gears of War is a franchise I love. All those type of franchises that I grew up with, but I would say out of all of them, Star Wars is probably the one that had the most impact on me and why I have a channel that's dedicated so much content to Star Wars. So there you are. Next one we have from Lego Serbible. He asks, do you like Alien/Aliens movies? They're okay to me. I'm not a huge fan of the Aliens franchise in a whole. Yeah, honestly, I can't remember the last Alien I even saw, so I gotta actually watch them again, because I do remember liking the second one a lot, if I remember correctly, so I'll check them out. But I remember Aliens vs. Predator being terrible. I think that's what might have turned me off to the entire franchise, so I don't know though, but that's just my guess. This one we have from Dennis. He asked, who is your favorite Ninja Turtle? My favorite Ninja Turtle is Leonardo, because he's the leader and he's got swords. And I think that's like what I would be if I was one of them. Out of my group of friends, I am the leader too. I would say I'm a jokester too. I'd say I'm a good combination of pretty much every single one of them in a sense. Like, I consider myself relatively smart with tech, like Donatello. I would consider myself funny, Michelangelo. Consider myself a good leader like Leonardo. And Raphael, I guess he's the toughest fighter. So I consider myself a tough fighter, I guess. Next one we have from Zayd Official, and he asks, what videos are you most proud of? I'm proud of many of my videos. In fact, I'm proud of every single one of my videos because of all the good content I try to put out. There's been a couple videos in the past, not recently anyways, where I actually just made a video just to make a video. And my original channel, if you guys don't know this, my original channel had over 500,000 views, and 2 of those videos were the reason why. It had, one video had 200,000 views, another video had 300,000 views, and it was literally a top 10 of me just listing the top 10 hottest celebrity butts and boobs. One video was boobs, one video was butts, and it was awesome because 500,000 views off these videos, but they didn't take anything to do. And it was kind of like, it felt like I was cheating. And I felt like, sure, it was relatively good for, you know, cash wise, but with the whole 18 thing anyways, I didn't get much from it anyways. So it was kind of like, where's that moral standing? Like, although this is making money, it's not what I want. And I don't want that type of content plaguing my channel. So I did eventually get rid of it. And then my channel eventually got hit by copyright claims anyways once the content ID got launched. So I got knocked out with that one. So that was my original channel. My new channel doesn't do that type of stuff. I try to put 110% every single one of my videos, and I hope that shows. If you like my videos, please let me know you like them. Comments below. But as far as it goes to my very favorite actual video I've ever made, probably my Mighty Morphin Power Rangers parody. It's one of my very first videos I did on this channel. It took like 6 months to make because I had to get all my friends together, and I actually filmed at the same location but 3 different times with a different group of friends each time. So I'm gonna leave the link right there at the top of the screen if you wanna go check that out. I recommend it. It's really cool, especially if you like the old like Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, like the original ones. What I did was I pretty much made the intro again, but I made it my own. So with my friends and that type of stuff. So I recommend checking it out. It's pretty interesting, it's fun. So and if you like it, make sure to like, subscribe, and share. I might consider doing more intros. Me and my friends considered doing a full house intro. Lou, what are you doing? You're coming in. Daddy's recording something. Daddy's recording something. Who do you think you are? Pushing the door open. Come here. Get the heck over here. Oh, I hate you. Whatever. Fine. No food for you for a month. Next one we have from Splashman33. He asks, what's your favorite Star Wars game? So I gotta say, out of all the Star Wars games I've ever played, my favorite one is probably Star Wars Connect. Now that was just brilliance. No, I'm kidding. That was an awful game, terrible game. The truth is, probably the very best Star Wars game is either Battlefront 2 or Star Wars Jedi Knight Academy. Both games deserve an HD remake stat. If you're looking at me, if you're watching me, Disney or Lucas Games or LucasArts or EA or whoever is in charge of video games now when it comes to Star Wars, remake these right now, make them HD-ified. The game's already done. Take the games, make them nice and shiny and pretty, and release them again. I will pay top dollar for those games. I'm telling you that right now. For a Battlefront 2 in HD or Star Wars Jedi Knight Academy, both games that are over 10 years old. If you make these things HD-ified, I'm telling you right now, you are going to be swimming in money because that's what everybody wants. That's what people want from their Battlefront. That's what people want from their Star Wars. Do it right now. Everything I'm telling you is going to get you some big bucks. And if you agree with me, make sure to hit that like button, make sure to comment, and let Disney know what we want, or EA know what we want. So we don't have another Battlefront EA. Moving on. Next one we have from Inserte Origine, name here, underline. He asks, rank the effing chipmunks. How about this? Okay, so I understand this is like a running gag with all my people, but you know what? Just because people keep asking, I will rank the Chipmunks movies at 10,000 subscribers. How's that sound? I got a little bit over 5,000 right now. Once I get to 10,000, I'm actually gonna rank the Chipmunks, and then everyone can be happy and everyone gets their Chipmunk ranking. So if you want to see Chipmunks rankings, go ahead, like that bad boy down there, and I might consider doing it even sooner. But I wouldn't hold my breath. Next one from a simple man. He asks, what is your favorite video game of all time? My favorite game of all time is Halo 3. I think the reason why, although I'd say like Gears of War 2 is pretty high up there, as well as Kingdom Hearts. Those are Kingdom Hearts 2 specifically. Those are great games to me, and Battlefront 2 is up there as well. But I gotta say, out of every game I've ever played, the most time I probably spent in a game playing multiplayer, campaign, forging, you know, just that stuff, all that stuff combined, the most time I've ever spent into a game has to be Halo 3 with my friends back when Xbox 360 first came out. It was the bomb. Halo 3, although it's still a pretty game, like in some aspects, I'd actually say that Halo 3 is even prettier than Halo 4 in some places. Like I actually think Master Chief's armor in Halo 3 looks better than Halo 4's armor. I don't know how you think about that, but that's how I personally feel. And so when it comes down to it, if they HDify Halo 3, which I heard they're not gonna do, but if they do, I may actually consider at least paying $30 for that bad boy, because that is, I would not mind playing that again even prettier. Even though like right now the graphics are still not too bad, they're not great, especially some of the faces, like ugh. Like Sergeant Johnson, go back and look at Sergeant Johnson's face. Ugh, it is not pretty. But like I said, my favorite game is Halo 3, so that's just what I have to say about that. How is your favorite Star Wars character and Lord of the Rings / Hobbit character? How they're doing? I heard they're doing pretty cool. No, but seriously, he meant to say who are my favorite Star Wars characters as well as my Lord of the Rings / Hobbit characters. I'll say my top 2 favorite characters. Number 1 favorite character from Star Wars is Qui-Gon Jinn because of his lessons and how cool of a master he actually is and how unorthodox he is compared to the other Jedi. I think that's what makes him so awesome to me. And then number 2 would be Anakin Skywalker from episode 3. I don't know. I always say this in my videos, it's something about the fallen hero story. You know, when I was in high school, one of my favorite plays was Macbeth, and something about the hero getting power, rising, and becoming something that, you know, something so great that he actually starts to get corrupted by that power and then just falls because of it. You know, I think that's such an interesting tone, or an interesting lesson, I should say, that everyone can learn from, because no matter how good of a person you are, power can corrupt you. You know, that's just how things are. So I like that. Now, as far as Lord of the Rings go, my favorite character is Samwise Gamgee, and my second favorite character is Legolas. Now, I remember when I was younger and the first movie came out and the second movie came out, my favorite character is actually Legolas. And then when the third film came out, that's when Sam, after he became like a hero and he saved Frodo and he was pretty much like the hero of the entire story, that's when he became my favorite character. So I just like that. Now, the next one's from the Witty Profile name. He's got a little explanation in front of it, but I'm just gonna say what he actually asked. It pretty much comes down to, who do I think is Rey's parents? Now, I think there are multiple different things of how Rey came along. And honestly, there's 2 theories that I specifically love that I think I'd be okay with. The first one, Luke Skywalker's daughter. I'm okay with that. I think that people are thinking like, the creators might be like, well, you know, she's not actually his daughter because that would have been way too obvious. But I think it's obvious, but I'm okay with its obviousness. You know, I'm okay if that becomes a real thing. So that's just me. And then the second one is, I'm okay with the theory that she's the reincarnation of Anakin. You know, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with her being the light side reincarnation of Anakin. I think that'd be cool. What do you guys think? What do you think Rey's parents are? Let me know. Comments below. What are who they are, I should say. Next one we have from Diego Rivas. He says, on the next Q&A, can I be featured? Yes, you may. Now for his actual question. My question is, would you rather watch Spider-Man 2 or Iron Man 1? Now, both of these films are great superhero films. I recommend them if you haven't seen them. You probably have seen Iron Man 1. You might not have seen Spider-Man 2. And I'm not talking about the Amazing Spider-Man 2. Stay away from that. That is cancer. You will die. But the original Spider-Man 2, the Sam Raimi franchise, I gotta say, that is one of my favorite films. I'd say that's right behind the first Avengers in overall just awesomeness. And in my personal opinion, the first Avengers is the very best superhero movie we have. Better than The Dark Knight, better than Spider-Man 2. But I will say that if I gotta choose between Spider-Man 2 and Iron Man, if they're both sitting there in the Blu-ray player, I don't know which one to pick, and I have to choose one, I'm choosing Spider-Man 2. It's just too good of a film. I definitely recommend it for anybody who likes Spider-Man, who likes superhero movies. Especially if you haven't seen them yet, go and watch them right now, because without those movies, we probably wouldn't have Iron Man. We probably wouldn't even have Avengers or any of that other stuff. So if those movies weren't as good as they were, specifically 1 and 2, because 3 was kind of, probably wouldn't have the superhero market that we have nowadays. All right, for our second last question, we have Joshua Peretta, and he asks, who are your 3 favorite Jedi ranked from 3rd to 1st in canon? Now, I actually did a video. I'm gonna leave a link right there. You guys can check that out. It goes a little more further into detail, but I will go over what that video pretty much says near the end. So for my 3rd favorite Jedi, I probably have to say Plo Koon, because my grandfather, he actually bought me a lightsaber. It was a orange lightsaber. It was Plo Koon's orange lightsaber, so it was like limited edition, so it was awesome. At the time, I was kind of like, oh, orange lightsaber, like that's different. And then after a while, I was like, you know what, it's pretty cool, because none of my friends, like all my friends had like the Anakins, the Obi-Wans. Trust me, I was the coolest kid in the neighborhood, trust me, because of that lightsaber. And then my grandfather actually died after that from cancer, so it was kind of a thing that was, when I was growing up, it was kind of like my way of remembering him the most, because that was the last gift he gave me for the Christmas before he actually passed away. So it's sad, but I mean, after all, I still have that lightsaber at my parents' house. it broke though. I remember when I was like a high schooler, you know, when you become a high schooler, you get to the point where you're like, I don't care about any of my old stuff, and you start like breaking it and stuff. And I don't know why I did that. I kind of felt bad for breaking it, but it served me well when I was a kid and stuff, and so it got me through. But every time I used to play with it, I thank my grandfather. So Plo Koon's a pretty cool character too, but there's the extra reason for why I like Plo Koon. But I don't like Plo Koon with the blue lightsaber. I don't like him with a yellow lightsaber. He has to have that orange lightsaber. He's not that cool. Now for the second Jedi, I chose Anakin Skywalker. Anakin Skywalker episode 3, of course. Probably because when I was in 5th grade, when I was 5th or 6th grade, 3 actually just came out, and my hair was long and stuff, so I'd grow my hair out long to look like Anakin. And people used to tell me I looked like him, so I was like, yeah, I'm doing something right. It's so lame to say now, but I remember like when I was a kid, it was like so cool. I look like Anakin, yeah. And then my first favorite is Qui-Gon because of how different of a character he is. I do think that had Qui-Gon taught Anakin instead of Obi-Wan, things would have turned out different. Anakin would have became the Jedi he was meant to be. But I do think due to that little like sibling rivalry thing they had going on, I think that's what really kind of impacted what was going on with their situation. So I love it. I just love Qui-Gon, his character, how like different he is from the other Jedi. You know, he doesn't just believe in the light side, you know, he believes in the Force itself. He believes in everything that goes with it. He believes in the light and the dark, you know. He understands it and he feels it compared to the Jedi who believe in the light and they push the dark away. So when the dark actually comes back to bite the person who only knows how to use the light and doesn't know how to defend against the dark, Anakin Skywalker, people die. I used this in another video before, but it's true. Honestly, that's what happened. So that's why I think that had Qui-Gon taught Anakin how to do that, how to know the good and the bad, and how to control yourself with both of them, compared to just knowing how to control the light and pushing the dark away. And then when the dark actually corrupts you and you're not able to defend yourself against the dark side, you're gonna have some problems. So that's why Qui-Gon is number 1 for me. Now for our very last question. This one is from Emerson the Gamer, and he asks, what is your favorite season of Star Wars: The Clone Wars? My favorite season is season 4. The season that introduced Darth Maul. I think that was like the perfect season in my opinion because it felt right. I think it was season 4, it might be season 5, but I'm pretty sure it was season 4. Whatever brought Darth Maul back, I think they did that great. I think if you're gonna bring back a character who should be dead, let's be honest. Let's be honest here, real quick guys. Stop the music. Stop the music. Let's be honest, okay? Darth Maul survived because the fans brought him back. Okay, let's be honest. And when it comes down to it, you can start the music by the way, James. James, music. James. There we go. So if you're gonna bring back a character as big as Darth Maul, you gotta make sure you do it right. And I think they nailed it. And that's what kind of got me into the Clone Wars. Before that, seasons 1, 2, and a little bit of 3 was very kiddish to me. And that's why I didn't really follow them. But then season 4 where things changed around. When they brought Darth Maul in, people started dying, you know? Like it wasn't just like a, haha, I'm here to battle, we battle. Oh, okay, now I'm gonna escape before anything happens and there's no violence. And it's kind of like, this is boring. But that's why I like the later seasons of Clone Wars, and especially why I like Rebels, or why I'm interested to get back into Rebels, is because they're not afraid to do more realistic stuff. They're not afraid to kill characters off. Of course, they won't kill off the main characters, go figure, but they're not afraid to actually show death. And I like that. I think that's one thing that the industry is kind of missing. It's one of those things where people are like, well, kids shouldn't know what death is anyways because it's not good for their upbringing. They might, you know, they might not be able to handle death. And I'm just here like, what are you talking about? Back when I was like 4, I was playing GTA 3 and running around and shooting people's heads off. That didn't make me want to go out and shoot people's heads off. I knew what death was. Of course, I shouldn't have been playing that game. I'll admit that game's a little more mature, but even then, I didn't become some psychopath from it. You know, death is a part of life, and I think that's something that Rebels and the later seasons of Clone Wars started to realize. So overall, favorite season is season 4, but that is just my opinion. Now that is it for all my questions, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like I said, if you have any questions for next Q&A, which is gonna be Q&A number 11, probably coming out next Sunday or maybe even Monday. So if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Remember to like and subscribe for more videos and hit that notification button, guys. I need you to hit that darn notification button. That's it for now, guys. I'll see you later. Remember to like, subscribe again, and peace. Goodbye.